Customer, make 'em ballyhoo.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Redskin? I'd like to buy a tom-tom.
Bracelet.
No.
Moccasin.
No. I want tom-tom.
Me give 'em tom-tom.
Oh, thank you.
Me, I don't know. Oga, umala haba.
Oh. Oh, I want to buy that.
Me, I don't know. Buy a stick. No, go take 'em, look.
Oh, they're gone.
Make 'em spring.
Uh-huh. Look at the fun they are having. Isn't that cute?
Don't make 'em smoke, don't make 'em fire. Make 'em hot. Heap big point.
Oh, isn't he a little darling? Oh.
Hello, Toots.
Oh. Look at him.
Funny fella. Uh-oh, we gotta go.
Oh.
So long.
Oh, what's the matter with her? That's no pot. That's tom-tom.
Tom-tom?
Uh-huh. Look, like this.
Oh.
Play, big Indian brave. Just beat that drum and make it hum. Let's swing like craze. Play, princess white wing. Don't be a forlorn. Grind out that corn and make it swing. Come in violin. Trombone, make it sing. Tuba boy, cymbals ring. Yes, everybody swing, Oh, let him play, Mr. Redskin. You're in the groove now,
Hey, Ogo, dale. Hello, yo te molly. Oh, me in the jam. Bong, 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 bong. Look at
I always lost funny.
Goodbye, Mr. Redskin.
So long, everybody.
Comply. No, you can't go to bars and restaurants then. That's okay, I have friends and family. We'll picnic at the park. You can't go to the park. That's okay, we'll gather at our homes. You can't go to the supermarket. What will you serve? That's okay, we'll order groceries online. Oh yeah, but you can't order alcohol. That's okay, liquor is fattening and expensive. Plus it kills the liver. Well, you won't know. You can't go to the doctor. That's a lie. Doctors take an oath and they uphold it. Senator Rand Paul taught us that. Well, you can't take transportation. How will you gather? We'll walk. You can't. We can. Martin Luther King taught us how. You'll buckle. We won't. We have faith. Yeah, well, I closed your churches. That's okay. Church isn't a building. Well, school is, and your kids aren't allowed. That's okay. We'll be working from home, so we'll teach them at home. I'll cut you off from life as you know it. That's okay. We'll move to a free state. You can't. How will you get there? We can. Harriet Tubman taught us how. We are so done here. We really are.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, she's clever.
I really like that opening there. What's up, everybody? It's Friday night. It's Irate Prostate, making sure you can hear my voice. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for the CREEM Stream. Nice little dialogue, something that was up on TikTok. I love it. So yeah. I thought I'd put it in. Pete cannot be with us tonight, even though I put it in the title. It was just, he's got RL shit, and and maybe we'll hold him a slot for next week. But in his house with me tonight are some awesome people. The cream team, as I like to call them, the cream of the crop, whatever superlative you want to pop in there, man, just put it in there because they're the best. And with me tonight is, of course, the A is for Tim of the Hun.
Hey, everybody.
B is for Becca Fairley.
Hey, guys.
C is for She Gone.
Hey, I liked her rant, except I would have said, I'm going to just make my own alcohol.
Right? Exactly. Nice one.
Mead is easy to make.
Yeah, going forward, I'm going to start being known as Still Not the Room.
Trippypoop.
Hello. How you doing?
All right. Well, how's so? I guess back in alphabetical order. Tim, how's your week been?
It's well, okay. Twitter's been kind of weird, but like, I think people are thinking that's consuming time in my life, and it's really not because I've been doing a bunch of other stuff. It's fall, so I've been rearranging plants and transplanting herbs and things like that, and preparing the kids for the school year and stuff. We start in a week or two, so I've been busy, and the sun's been good. So I've been out and enjoying.
Freedom! Sorry about that.
Okay.
Did y'all hear that?
No.
Okay.
It was quiet.
Yeah, it was. I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry.
Man Squatch says, if you're still not the room, I can be Room Squatch.
Room Squatch.
Yes.
Yeah, man, Squatch. It's a pleasure to meet you out there in the
Room Squatch.
in Digitalis or Digitaliza or whatever the fuck. Got some new slides. I just wanted to hang here for a minute and let them kind of rotate in the back. All right. So, Tim, let's talk some more about your week. Or are you done?
Well, I'm kind of like laughing and annoyed with the landlord's choice of gardeners because I was raised like my stepdad and his brother are like really, really good at gardening, and they're like really well trained in horticulture. And I've learned how to put plants together my whole life. And when I watched the gardeners come through today, they put roses and lavender next to each other. And then they put prairie grass on the other side of it with an ornamental maple cousin that's really just a bush. And these are plants that do not play well together at all. And they're all too close together. So I'm just kind of going, we just watched all of our extra rent money for upgrades for the apartment complex go to waste because I think we've got maybe 9 months, a year at most, till pretty much all the plants they just put in are dead. And who the fuck does a major planting on a property in September? So it's just been one of those weeks where it's like, wow, okay, that's
you usually plant bulbs and shit in the fall, don't you? Yeah.
You certainly don't be dropping bushes and lavender. And you don't drop lavender next to roses. Lavender likes fairly dry soil, and it has to be bottom watered. And they use a sprinkler system.
Roses need babying. You have to baby those mothers.
And you have to pay attention to your roses, and they need lots of water. So you just put something that can't stand water next to something that needs lots of water, and you can't top water lavender. It kills it. So they just it's a bunch of really big stupidity. So that was my week, watching everybody say, oh, it looks so pretty, and I'm going, oh, this looks so retarded. And I'm explaining it to my husband, and he's going, oh, that's really retarded. So yeah, it's ridiculous, and it's making me crazy. It's like almost OCD annoying. I can almost feel my teeth itching. But hey, whatever. It's cool. People can be stupid.
That's right. I was giggling at that stupid. I put a picture. It looks like was that quarterback with the big afro?
Kaepernick.
Yeah, Kaepernick blowing Donald Trump. Yeah. Hey, look, man. Cheap thrill. I'm all about it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Miss Becker, what about your week? Or do you want to save it for 2 minutes of hate?
I can save it for 2 minutes of hate.
Okay. We all will want to
It's
donate.
been chaotic. We'll just say that.
We'll want to donate. Like I'm going to donate my 2 minutes to her this week, and unless you've got a big beef, I would recommend you to it too. Because Becca's I know she's got a rant inside of her still, even though
I got some of it out, but I'll make it more clear tonight. I was a little angry last time I ranted, so I was all over the place.
It came out sounding just a little irrational.
Just a little irrational, a little email-ish, I guess. It happens.
God forbid. Hi, Uzi. Say hi to Uzi, people.
Hi.
It's as big as a whale. We're gonna set sail for the Love Shack, baby. All right, man. All right, so C is for she gone. How was your week, ma'am?
Oh, really busy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it just works crazy. And I got like a month left. Like, if the baby comes like planned on time, I guess. Like, oh my God, it's coming up. That's scary.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. I don't know. Just busy, I guess. I'm like tired. Sorry. It's like long week. I just.
Well, you just sit
baby
back.
Brain.
Baby brain.
Baby brain.
What does that mean?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Translate.
Like,
baby brain is short-term memory
is,
goes bye-bye.
Yeah, the fetus is sucking your life force, so you can't function. You can't think. All you want to do is eat and sleep.
to get in
And your
there.
short-term memory just falls out your ear at some point. It's either when the baby's born or right before, depending on how your hormone cycle works. For me, it was right about the time the baby was born. I lost every bit of short-term memory I had until they were about 2 years old. They were weaned.
No, I'm not ready for that yet. I have like more work to do.
Yeah, but okay. I was also still breastfeeding because I was homesteading, and I'm one of those hippy-dippy kind of people, and I do a lot of nature stuff and research and all that kind of shit.
I would say you're not a hippie. I would classify you as something different.
No, I'm very much
As a
more like a
compliment.
naturalist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm much more like a naturalist
Yes.
than anything else.
Yes. Because most of the hippies we know are fucking in Washington now. So.
Yeah, no, and I bathe, and I believe in property rights, and yeah,
well, shit.
fuck you if you try to take my shit. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
no, I think what it is I'm a gypsy, and I just don't trust many systems, and it's like a natural genetic thing for me, because I'm also American, so I try to figure out ways to do that outside of the system, and so I always look for natural ways I can do it myself.
Cool. All right,
Because I ain't trusting nobody.
Right. Stone Monkey, how was your week, man?
Man, it was a week.
You're a man of few words tonight.
Yeah, it's been a week.
I hear you, man. Just
Work.
kind of sit back and relax. Well, I
Work,
might have a gift for you.
I got some 2 minutes of hate for my week, just to say that.
All right. And I got all right, fair enough.
Oh, I'm gonna rage.
Hey, man.
I've never raged before. Like, you guys are gonna hear me actually angry for the first time.
I feel you, man.
Ooh.
All right. Well, let's move to Trippy. How was your week, man? And then we'll move to the 2 minute room.
Pretty good, but I wanted to point out that Madness said in the chat, Comedy Central banned an episode of The Office. That was the one that made fun of diversity training.
Oh, I want to watch that now.
It was so funny too. The episode is absolutely hilarious because everybody sounds like a fucking racist. It's great.
was a good
I
episode.
really want to see that now.
Oh man, it was hilarious.
Wouldn't that, like, I don't know. It would seem like that would that if everybody seems like a racist, wouldn't that be the white privilege thing? You know? I don't know. Yeah. I was thinking about it. Just saying.
Damn, son.
I didn't know how to fucking phrase that shit. All right.
You're saying.
We're in the, where, with the flames of DT.
Oh, my favorite room, my jerk off room.
That's right. Oh.
Gotta get that host on irate frosted real fast. Here we go.
That's right.
Here we go. Got the hosty on. You should be on my auto host list, but I don't know if it was working right or not.
What does that mean?
If you're live and I'm not, and someone else that's on my auto host list is not live, you will get hosted automatically.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I finally found that. Like, I don't really know Twitch very well at all. I've been here for a while, and I mean, yes, I am affiliate, but I am so fucking green to all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just found out how to pull up my analytics.
Don't forget, guys, in the chat, every $1 donated, you get one nude from irate.
And feet
I don't know
pics.
if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube.
Hey man, you get feet pics from me, man. You'll fucking you'll have a different fetish. I can't speak English tonight. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. And maybe I had a stroke. I don't know. I'm not smelling almonds.
Irate's OnlyFans.
I don't know, man. I think if I had an OnlyFans, I'd have to pay people to look at it. I'm serious. I am ugly as hell. Good evening, Leo Von Poozle. All right, let's say hey real quick to the chat because they're awesome. Ghost Dog 999. Are you the same as Ghost Dog 99?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
For sure. No? That's a hey.
You don't think so? See that Straight Sith Mail, SSM, hey man, roasted. Man, I'll be glad when you got your shit fixed. Philip Daniel, excuse me. Hey man.
I miss you, brother.
Madness, greetings. Bear to Bear, Man Squatch, I salute you. Divine Petulance, always nothing cracked me up, man. With that line during the during what did they say? Hold on, I'll try to find it. But that cracked me up during the cartoon. I'm digging running these cartoons before we jam. You know, man. Yeah, Carl DeGroza. Hey, man, how you doing?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Hey. Oh, somebody says check your stream elements
Lieutenant,
too, and you got a super chat.
Lieutenant Vanisher.
I just gotta ask, because I read streaming deaths all black, or is it just me?
There it is.
It's all black.
In the Discord, yeah.
FTW Neil.
Perfect. I thought in Discord.
Yep. Says fuck communists for $2.
Neil,
Thank
you are
sir.
the man.
He is. So, and the thing worked. The overlay worked.
Nice.
I was telling you to check your stream elements.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just did.
Ow.
It even came on the screen. That's what I was saying. It's actually the shit works.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm watching it. What am I saying? Oh shit. I was saying, like I didn't just see that happen. No, I am not stoned tonight. Dude. God damn. That's what happens when I play MMOs. XL got me playing Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, shit. Ooh, Uzi fucked her foot up.
Oh. That's not good.
Ice on it.
Elevate nice.
Elevate nice, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, elevate and ice. I'll talk to you later.
No, it's not like that.
Okay.
It doesn't even hurt.
It doesn't hurt. That looks like broken, man. Jesus, I can't believe it. All right. Dude, she dropped a pallet on her foot. She doesn't need to be lifting that shit. God damn it. Anyway, yeah, this is a bunch of youngins where she worked. They're lazy as fuck. They're just looking at their phones while she's literally lifting like boxes of shit.
You can tell she's redhead,
that might be my 2 minutes. Anyway, sorry, y'all.
You're good. You can tell she's a redhead. She's like, no, it doesn't hurt. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like me.
Yeah.
Anyway, since we were blessed with money by the FTW Nil, the one and only, where the torching flames, the cleansing flames of the archangels.
My erection.
And now we're with Ingsoc, and we're going to talk about Ingsoc.
Okay.
At some point, after we do this the hate thing, because it seems like there's a couple of people here that really need it. So does anybody got something short they want to do some hate on before we get going with the rants? I'm ready for some rants.
I have a short rant.
Go for it. All right, you ready? Go.
Don't be a fucking retard in public. These people are so fucking stupid. I'm so goddamn sick of everybody believing some stupid motherfucker because they put on a suit and they stand in front of a camera and they read some shit on a fucking screen that makes them fucking official. You need to stop being fucking retarded. Go look at the fucking shit yourself instead of being a giant fucking pussy ass bitch and cutting me off in the middle of the fucking store to ask me the same fucking question 4 fucking times even though you've been told the same fucking answer. You're a goddamn gigantic fucking twink. Go dance your ass back into Portland. Nobody fucking wants you in Aloha. Shut the fuck up. Dance away, you dumb bitch. Okay, all done.
Hashtag dumb bitch.
Dude, that was like the fastest you've ever done, Timma.
That was a 6'3" male, by the way.
Brilliant. You just punch him in the dick. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah.
after like the third fucking time of cutting me off and the thing, I said, can I help you? I was just wondering why you're not wearing a mask. Have you read the mandate? Yeah. Does it have a list of exceptions? Yeah. I said, okay then, get out of my face.
Oh, 20 minutes ago, I missed that window licker tipped $2 and said, have you eaten fish tacos while watching Faces of Death? No, but that sounds fun, actually.
I miss Faces of Death.
Yeah, man, I was back in the day when those came out in the VHS, be sneaking them in the room, like, look at them, mom and dad, say, they don't want to be watching that shit. It's crazy. It's like,
sounds fun. I'm going to create a Faces of Death.
My favorite scene, though, is when they eat the monkey brains.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And then the first one, yeah. It was like, yes. Oh, no, that's in Mondo Cane, man. That's right. Yeah. Sorry, monkey. That's
monkey
now that I thought about it, it's like, I'm sorry.
I don't pretend to be a monkey. I just run with the nickname.
I feel
good. I never said I ever actually believed I was a monkey.
All right, so
I literally just rolled my nickname,
so
and
this is not a persona, is what you're saying, correct?
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, I've heard otherwise, but funny how I've said 1,000 times my nickname came from my WoW character, and the fact that everybody just called me Monkey, so I fucking rolled with it. But
I hear you, man.
Actual hate here, because that's just whatever. But actual hate. Fuck you, Oregon. You fucking set in a fucking goddamn mandate 3 days before my concert, making it to where my buddy can't fucking go because he cannot produce a negative COVID test from the doctors because they're so booked that it takes fucking a week and a half to do it. And I cannot refund my tickets because supposedly you can get it done and have your test ready within 3 days of the concert. Fuck them.
Why would 3 days matter? Like, if you're negative 3 days before you go, what happens if you get it on the day you go? Before you get to the
perfect
concert.
sense, don't it?
Yep.
3 days.
Fucking retarded.
Hey, Cynical Lindsay's out there. Hello.
Well, why the fuck are they allowed to ask you for a test result from a medical procedure? Like, when did that become acceptable?
Start faking it.
You know what I mean? Oh, that woman just got arrested for that.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, Monkey.
I can't find a replacement in time that can fit the fully vaxxed or a negative test. And yes, I am fully vaxxed. I wasn't really wanting to be, but I want to see my fucking grandparents, and that was the only way I'm really gonna have a chance to. Because Yeah, their health wouldn't handle that if I brought it with me. And they're vaxxed, so this way I feel comfortable. And now it works out for my concert too, because I just gotta take a picture of that stupid fucking card. And let me tell you, the jab's not bad, but I didn't want it.
I hear you. It's
I
don't know what to say, man, because everybody's having to make choices like that. You know.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
at this point, I was talking to my mom about it. You know, it's basically like I gotta say, I was joking. This is our generation's smallpox vaccine, basically, where you don't get the choice, you get it. It's what I feel like is gonna end up happening, because it's exactly where everything's going. Just like we all said, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But oh man, conspiracy theorists we were.
Yeah, no shit.
It's still
Well, and I'm still pissed off about it too, because like I've got people that are intolerant to vaccination at all in my house. I already have somebody in my house that has listed, recognized, and in a fucking database with the fucking government, confirmed by two medical boards, fucking intolerance to fucking vaccines.
Hey, Sorluna, Victor Man.
What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna go put my child into that. And from what little I've seen of the list of fucking contents of this fucking vaccine,
Ed?
I'm
Yes, Ed.
allergic to this shit. Hey, Ed.
Yeah, tomorrow's concert. I'm still trying to find somebody. Like, it's probably not gonna happen. So there goes $80 for at least one ticket. And so what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Every employee I come across, I'm going to request their negative COVID test or their proof of full vaccination. And if I don't get that, I'm getting my fucking refund, because they can lick my fucking goddamn stinky balls.
Security guards and shit.
Every motherfucking one of them. There's not a smoking section. That's what I'm mad about. I don't get a fucking cigarette the entire fucking time.
Oh my god.
Fuck that noise.
Oh.
You do not take monkey cigarette breaks from him. I don't even know if I'm like, because the Rose Garden, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go out and smoke and be able to come back in mid concert at all. So I'm like gonna be sitting there jonesing the whole time.
Oh man, I hate that shit.
Especially when there's 4 bands. I like to go in between sets, to go have a cigarette
Do I have
and
smoke, man, and shit?
walk around. I don't get that option now, and I'm very, very angry.
You walk out and come back in, and they're like, "We need a new COVID test."
I'm sorry, that should be funny.
I'll bend over and spread my fucking cheeks. They can put that little swab in my bunghole real fast.
That would
take a good old sniff of that.
Maybe we can get a bunch of those, the cheap ones from China, and then just
all that
self-test ourselves. Turn it into a Rule 34 situation.
Uzi's in chat. Hey, Uzi.
Hey,
Uzi. Shit, we got a good freaking crowd going out here on freaking Twitch.
Hell yeah.
Madness says in the chat there was a pregnant woman who had either a heart problem or was the vaccine denied, both things. Then get checkups for those denied because she wasn't vaccinated.
So she had a heart issue. She had to go get checked to see if she could get the vaccine. Because she wasn't vaccinated, she can't go get the heart test. Is my understanding that correctly?
All I know is if the government's going to start cutting people off from being able to do stuff like that because they're not vaccinated, the unvaccinated should definitely not be having to pay taxes then, because we're not, they're not getting the benefit of they're not getting their benefit from paying their taxes at that point.
They're trying to
more than bent over and shoved in the butt.
Being in-person, but they still want our tax money, you know it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
They said they don't, but
that's bullshit.
The working class, the workers.
Yeah, they're gonna realize real quick who they're taking out of society. We live in a society.
Watch this. I am Kovholio.
Hey, we'll say hey to B Token on Twitch. What's up, man?
Hi, B.
What up, Token?
B Token.
And I want to say hey to Sorluna earlier. I noticed she was in there.
And into lurk mode.
Cynical Lindsay, the one and only. All things Game of Thrones and Walking Dead. You know that's right. Walking Dead. Lindsay,
That's
we must
Carl's
talk.
arena.
The new series, the new season.
Oh my fucking god.
What?
This person's fucking car alarm's been going off for the last 5 minutes. You guys can't hear
You
it,
sound like me,
but
man.
I had to pull my headphones off to make sure I wasn't hearing things still. But no, it was still going. It's still going off.
Dude, it's weird as shit. When I was streaming earlier, I heard some weird noises, right? I look out the window. I was on Pat's stream. And I look out the window, and it looks like somebody's car is getting towed. And then I kept hearing noise, so I looked back out there, and the car is sitting in a parking spot. So I'm like, somebody just get a car delivered?
Oh, and Divine Petulance is on Twitch, too. Say hey.
Yep.
Advance.
Sweet.
So it's like, I don't know. There was a tow truck. All of a sudden, there was a car in the parking lot. And I'm like, what the fuck? Did they get it delivered, or did the dude run out there and start yelling? And like, I don't know. I had a headset on. It's fucking strange. Around here, it's people getting cars towed. Not getting a car. Fucking strange. Somebody had to bring them home, I guess.
Right. All right. Monkey, is your rant over?
Oh, my rant's been over. Sorry, that went a little bit longer than me. I mean, way longer than needed to. I'm laughing now.
That was fine, man. That was good. It's kind of like an exorcism. You gotta get to the other side. Right?
I'm ready to choke people, man. Just
I feel you.
Walk up and just grab them by the throat. I'm not a violent guy either. I hate violence. It's just not me.
Right. Yeah, we're lovers, not fighters, aren't we, Stone Monkey?
FERHLE'S out there, TW's out there now.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I'll, back me in the corner.
I will fight when necessary.
I'm a fucking rat. So, all right. So now it's Becca's turn for as many minutes of hate as she needs because.
Yeah, yield my time to Becca.
All right.
Goodness.
All right,
Ready for this?
You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
So I sent my youngest to school on Wednesday. She went through about half the day until the school started calling me over and over again. My ringer was off. I was working. So they called my parents and get a hold of my mother. And they're like, little one needs to be picked up because she has COVID. So my mom's calling me, and I finally answer, and she's like, hey, so the school's saying little one has COVID, you need to go pick her up immediately. Well, my other daughter was on her way up to the school to go get her because her sister got a hold of her, and she didn't tell me because I was working. So I also headed up to the school, and I learned that my child, who is allergic to hay and other kind of rodent cage chips and stuff, was cleaning out the class pet's cage. Now, this bitch teacher, each teacher has a form.
What kind of pet? Is it a hamster?
Okay, it is a hamster.
Okay.
It's a hamster. At first I thought it was a guinea pig, but it's a hamster. So, each teacher sends home a form every start of the school year. They ask for child's allergies, emergency contact numbers, all this bullshit. And I knew these cunts never looked at it. Never. They never look at it because my youngest suffers from weird allergies all the time, and it's kind of rare for her to come across it. And when she does, I'm like, well, did the teacher let you do this? And they're like, yeah. Anyway, so it was her turn to clean the animal's cage. She did it because, one, she's a kid who loves animals, and two, I guess she wasn't aware that she was allergic to that particular thing. Anyway, so she sneezed. The teacher lost her shit. And she was like, oh my goodness, you have COVID. You have to go to the nurse. She walked her down to the nurse's office where the nurse proceeded to ask my little one questions. And it was, do you have a fever? Do you have taste? Do you have smell? Symptoms of COVID. And little one is telling her, I have none of those. No symptoms. She fucking sneezed because she was starting into an allergic reaction. Shit got into her face. So I get there and I'm asking questions. And the teacher, Miss Righteous Hunt that she is, was like, well, your child hasn't been wearing a mask. Now, we live in Texas, and it is not required for our kids to wear masks. That is optional. The state didn't say you can't wear a mask, but it's definitely fucking optional. Last year, she was wearing a mask, and she had major migraines, which she's never had before. So this year, I was like, fuck the mask. It doesn't work anyway. Anyway, so she got up on her righteous little fucking high horse and started telling me that my child's not wearing a mask. She put herself at risk. She pissed me off. So I was yelling. I lost all shit. I didn't give a fuck where I was. We're in the front of the school where the office is and the nurse's office is. Next thing I know, I have an officer behind me telling me that he was asked to escort me to the fucking truck because I was getting belligerent. Whoa. So, and I was like, who requested it? Cunt 1 or cunt 2? Like, seriously. And which one of them called? Because I've been yelling at both of them. None of them picked up a phone. It was the receptionist in the office. I found that out today. But, so, our school, the protocol is, if your child is suspected as having COVID, you are required to take them for a test. Now, you have to provide the results for this test before your child is allowed back in school. If it is negative, they're allowed back immediately. If it is positive, they are required to sit out for up to 10 days or until they stop presenting symptoms.
Can I stop you right here and ask a question?
Yes.
So if they've been exposed, shouldn't they all be, shouldn't the whole class be quarantined?
Okay, so no, they're not doing that this year. They were doing that last year. If you were sitting next to a child or a teacher that was COVID positive, everyone sitting around that person would have to go home to quarantine for 10 days. This year, what they do, because I notified the school today that her test results came back positive. Ain't that some shit? So, yeah. But she's not presenting any symptoms. But last week, we got an email stating that my child was in close contact with another student that tested positive. So that's what they're doing at this school. They are sending out a week ago.
Jeez.
Another student in her class was sent home COVID positive.
That's it, the whole class is doing it.
Yeah, and so I notified the school today. Okay, she got a positive test result. What's protocol? How do I keep my kid from falling behind?
Hey, Sparky.
Fuck this bullshit. I hate all of you. Because they took away distance learning too. So all these kids that are sent home, there's no access online to their classes. So they're gonna fall behind. And this is my thinking on this. They are forcing kids home purposely to force the parents' hand to either get them vaccinated or to put them in a mask. And the teacher said as much when I was up there to pick her up. She's not wearing a mask. Oh, is she vaccinated? When she asked me that question, I told her to go fuck herself with a big, huge horse dong, that it was none of her fucking business. Like, you don't ask for my kid's medical shit. You're not someone who has access to it, and there's a reason for that. So she can fuck off. But I notified the school today. Yeah, she got a positive test. So I got the email again that they sent out last week. And it just basically says, your parents, in keeping with the school's practices to respond to COVID-19, we are notifying families that a student who was confirmed to have COVID-19 was present at the school and in close contact with your student. And then it says that if your child's presenting symptoms, to keep them home to quarantine, they give a list of signs that they have it. And then at the end of it, it says, to prevent this, you could put your child in a mask or go get them fully vaccinated. We are all part of the school district And we are a community and a society, and we are all here to save each other. That is how
it's time for an attorney. It's time for an attorney, baby.
My boss is in it. So we're looking into it. I don't know how much I can do because she did test positive. Now, she tested negative on this, and I can absolutely fucking prove that the teacher put her in danger for putting her in contact with something she's allergic to. That's a whole nother story. The positive test result fucking kicks us in the nuts a little bit.
No, it doesn't. Because they are not allowed to do that after they had the confrontation with you about it. See, that looks like intimidation. Because she bitched at you about the mask there in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then she went and put it out there. It's coercion and intimidation. So it doesn't matter whether she tested positive or negative. The teacher and the superintendent or the principal or whoever put out the newsletter, they've all decided that they're going to make an example out of anybody they can find, and they decided to use you, and they aren't allowed to make an example out of you or your family.
Right. Well, so that's the catch. It's an automatic generated email. It's a standard email that they're sending to all parents anytime any child is flagged. The main thing I have, the main concern,
that's evil,
is our county is keeping track of everyone that's tested. So now my daughter is part of a statistic, and she's on a fucking list along with our family. And when you go to get the COVID test, I don't know if it's just because my child's a minor, but the nurse did ask who else is in the household, which I told her none of your business. We're here for little one to get tested, and that's the extent of what info you're gonna get. Then she asked me if I was vaccinated, and I told her again, that is none of your business. I'm here for a test for the little one. They're submitting these things to the county to keep track of. So no matter what I didn't respond to that I personally feel is none of their fucking business, they have at least my youngest one on some kind of fucking list of stats and shit. And I did go to the county records, because before, when COVID kicked off, they were keeping track of age groups and the sex. And then they would say, so many tested positive, so many died. Right? So now they're breaking it down by smaller age groups, by school district, by school, by sex. It's a very detailed fucking list.
That's such stupid shit.
It is stupid. They are keeping close. It's close fucking information. So I'm sure somewhere in the county records it shows mom was belligerent and refused to answer questions. Don't fucking matter. The school knows that little one has 2 siblings, but they aged out. They graduated. They're adults now. They're on their own. So as far as the school is concerned, they can fuck off. They don't need to know anything about the other 2. But they kept, like, the nurse. Oh, and the thing that killed me was the nurse was rolling her eyes every time the teacher spoke. But her hands are fucking tied. Oh, and I use the term nurse loosely. She's not certified in anything but first aid. We do not have to have actual nurses on our campuses here. It's just as long as you have a certificate in first aid and CPR, you can be a nurse at our school.
I wouldn't want to get sneezed out all day. No thanks.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with other people's asshole children.
Well,
I just don't.
They're so limited on what they can do as a school nurse now these days anyway. A cop is allowed to do more to help a kid if they're injured than a nurse is, so...
Yeah.
It's stupid.
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane. But this happened Wednesday. We got the test results today. I was cracking up. I was like, okay, is this like a false positive, or did this test actually work, or did they just do a batch? Because in the beginning in Texas, they would do a batch of 25, I believe, and test maybe 2 or 3 tests out of that 25, and whatever it came back as, if 2 came back positive, 1 was negative, they would mark the whole batch as positive.
Well, that's
So I'm
fucked
wondering
up.
if they're still doing that shit. I just laughed because I went to little one and I was like, hey, you're positive for COVID. So no school, which she celebrated, of course. And I was like, so, do you have these symptoms? And she's like, no. She looked at me like I was fucking retarded. I was like, I have to ask this because it was dictated by our overlords, and I'm pretty sure they can go fuck themselves. And she was like, I know, Mom. Like, she's listened to me rant since Wednesday.
Wow.
But, you know, she's 13. She's like, all she is looking at is, yay, I have no school for like the next 10 days. She's celebrating. I'm just like, yeah, celebrate now because I got to go up to the school and get packets of fucking worksheets.
God, I wouldn't. I would get 10 days off of work right now.
Oh, man.
Fuck yeah.
Get the worksheets the other kids probably don't even have to do.
Right. Well, I called in yesterday asking for worksheets, trying to stay ahead of the game, and the teacher who screamed COVID at the top of her fucking lungs said she had nothing. And I asked the receptionist to call down to her classroom and make sure she was really telling me that she was not teaching children today. So the receptionist was like, as soon as she saw me walking up to the doors, which they have to buzz you in, I saw her like yell down the hallway, and next thing I know, that same officer showed up, which I went to high school with. We know each other. We were actually friends in high school. So he just smiles. He's like, hi, Miss Fairley. How's it going? Like, what up?
She was butt stuff, Becca.
No, that's the other one.
What's the story?
Holy shit.
Oh, I dated a guy in high school. He lost a bet. The bet was if he lost, he had to lick my ass in front of his friends. He lost, so he had to do it. And now he's a officer for the city.
Yeah, and occasionally we'll refer to Miss Fairley as butt stuff Becca.
Yeah.
So, I forgot about that, Trippy, you motherfucker.
Roasted. I asked the school to email it to me, and they told me that was too much, not pressure. I'm trying to remember the term. Essentially, it's too much work for the teachers to do that. So I have to put in a request 24 hours before I'm to pick it up for them to gather their worksheets or whatever.
It's too
stressing. Yeah, but there's a lot of these classes that do work on Google Docs and stuff. So little one just logs in and she has access to a lot of stuff, and she's been doing that. She caught up today, but there's some classes she's gonna fall behind because she's a visual audio learner, especially for math. She always has struggled with math, and yeah, she's gonna fall behind in that class.
So
that's my main concern.
Can you ask the teacher for her negative test?
I could. My boss, the attorney, is looking into what routes we can take with this, and I don't want to go in there and do anything hypocritical that could like hurt us. So right now I'm taking the advice that he tells all our clients, and I'm shutting the fuck up right now. So it's gonna be difficult when I go in Monday to get all these packets of worksheets and shit to just smile and thank everyone and tell them have a great and awesome day.
I'm scared more though.
That might.
Will. That teacher don't want none.
Oh my gosh, man squash. Answered all the worksheet questions with COVID positive. Positive. They still using dildos? What is dildos?
Maybe dildos.
Dildos. Yeah, 13 is 8th grade. So she's in 8th grade. She's, I don't know. You know kids around that age, they don't give a shit. They're cool because they're not in school and they have some kind of issue to get attention. Although she's not really like that, but she is happy she's out of school.
I want to ask one question before we move on.
Okay.
Becca, do you think that the older one was heading out there so whatever happened when you got there wouldn't happen? Maybe she was trying to thwart.
It is possible because little one also called her brother, which I found out today. And he called me and he was like, "Hey, so little one texted me. I was at work. Did the other sister go get her?" And I was like, "She tried. I met her up there. I was like 2 minutes behind her." And he was like, "So did you burn the school down? How many bodies do I need to bury?" Like, they all know. Anytime the school's involved, I go full fucking Karen. I'm okay with it. I mean, I think that's the one place you should go, Karen. Or Chad, whatever they call the dudes.
Chad.
Yeah.
The Chad with the chode.
The other daughter, she did say, "I was hoping that you were really distracted by work and wouldn't show up, so that way you wouldn't embarrass the little one," because they kind of do get embarrassed about it sometimes. It depends on how far I go.
Oh, it was ditto, not dildo.
Oh,
that changes that context completely. Context is everything, isn't it, people?
Yes, it is.
Yes. All right, I'm stopping, Becca.
Okay.
18 minutes, 51 seconds.
That's the record for the longest?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
She is holding. Timma, she beat your record.
Oh,
Just
no.
saying. Uh-oh. Let me get a competition going on here. Well, let's move into the TV room. We're going to move into the TV room.
I'm ready for TV room.
All right.
I like pancakes.
Chocolate pudding fight, Becca versus Atema.
Wait, I have just like a tiny bit of hate.
Oh shit!
Yay,
Let's move back in. We'll move back in here.
It's okay. It's like so very little. How the fuck do you get a cat to stop peeing? Diapers? I mean, I don't know what to do.
Male or female?
Yeah.
What's its sex?
Boy. The girl's fine. She's great, but the boy,
he's spraying.
Is he fixed?
Yes.
Oh.
He may have a bladder issue.
Yeah.
He may have an infection. Typically, when cats have an infection, they don't want to oddly contaminate their own areas, so they pee in their areas to prevent it. It's like an instinct thing. You may have like a urinary tract infection or something.
Yeah, we're trying to we try to clean up right away now, and he keeps kind of going to the same sort of spots, but it's like several places around the house. It just keeps going to the same.
Is he older?
No, he's really young. They're only like 3 or something. I mean, they're not that old.
I would call the vet and see.
All right, everybody. We've been joined by Aircraft Sparky. I shot him a DM since we had a little bit of room in here. Yeah, hey man.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey.
Good
hello.
To you.
Hey.
We're just hanging out, shooting the shit, getting a little angry about the.
Yeah, I'm done.
El Jabbo.
Cat piss. That's it.
Oh
yeah.
Man, I had a frustrating debate with a Hunter Avalon and et al. Over at the Hippy Dippy tonight.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. Those of you who are on YouTube, man, y'all need to go over. Y'all need to start looking at Twitch. There's some good political commentary and debates going on over there, and of course, Irate Prostate is there, and I'm sure he could use your support over there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Groovy. Well, thanks for that, man. But yeah, Rob Noor on there. Do you know him, Aircraft?
Oh yeah. Rob's actually the one that pulled me on to Twitch.tv. And that man, he's a mad lad, let me tell you.
I tell you, he slays some motherfuckers. I mean, and does it well. So
I love watching Rob.
Now he went off the other day on Dylan Burns and this liberal hawk, and all they are doing is memeing Rob now about it. It wasn't a good look, but hey, it is what it is. He still went in there with the, and it was beautiful. He went in there guns a-blazing. Man, there's some There's some good people over there. Y'all really should check it out.
Hell yeah.
Dylan's not even the worst one.
Oh no, Dylan's tame. Dylan is tame.
He still annoys the shit out of me, but he's not the worst one that Rob deals with. There are some pretty bad ones over there.
Yeah. I probably know better. I'm a horrible person. He got upset with me. I went on his show one night, and we were talking about prisons, and I'm like, yeah, don't work, don't eat, screw it. Just he's like, well, that's not very humane. And I said, well, it's not about humanity at this point. It's about getting the most out of it, trying to cut down the cost of imprisoning these people for doing bad things. And sure, people thought that was a bad look for me, but hey, it is what it is.
Indeed. Well, cool, man. So, all right, we're fixing to look at the. I don't know. There's been so much. This has been a busy week, right, news-wise. But there's this one thing that happened that I think we should focus on because it kind of involves schools and shit to some degree. What's the deal about cockroaches? For every one you see, there's like 150 that you don't see, or 1,000 or some shit like that.
For every one you see, there's at least 30 more. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a thing.
You're talking about the cringe talk teachers, aren't you?
I'm going to be talking about this one guy. All right.
Oh, the Project Veritas.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah. Okay. And so we're gonna roll. Yeah. We'll roll, and I'll stop it. I might fast forward through some shit because there's also some parental activity that we've got to. So, all right. And on that note, everybody hooked up and clicked in and everything. Make sure that. Maybe we can be heard. I'm just making sure I'm not boomering shit like I usually do. So to be a little more careful. That's right. Thank God.
Like the boomering.
Yeah. gives that lived in feel, huh? That's right. I've done this before. All right. Here we go.
Outrage this morning after a pro-Antifa high school teacher is caught on camera bragging about his push to turn students to the far left.
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries. How do you do that? How do you scare the fuck out of them? Yeah. Sacramento organization that is under the banner of Antifa is very loosely organized, right? So that, when there's like right-wing rallies and stuff, then we we'll create an opposition to that. Yeah.
Where would you go to connect to some of these organizations?
I post a calendar every week. And then and I do it for extra credit, so they get points for doing it. So that encourages them to do it. And I've had students show up for protests, community events, tabling, food distribution, all sorts of things. When they go, they take pictures, they write up a reflection. That's their extra credit. I have an Antifa flag on my wall, and a student complained about that, and he said it made him feel uncomfortable. Well, this is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable, so if you feel uncomfortable.
It's funny. The Antifa flag wasn't the only flag on the wall, and this dude looks a lot like Carlos Maza.
Well, I don't really know what he's doing. Maybe you should be aligning with it.
The Lispy, what? So,
I'm curious, what the fuck happens if somebody that has Eastern European, I don't know, some sort of Czech or Polish or Hungarian background or Austrian background walks in that and they go, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you supporting the people that committed genocide in our countries?
This dude teaches advanced placement government.
Yeah, exactly.
Seniors in high school.
So literally the kids that would recognize this shit and be aware of it.
Right.
Is that what I'm getting?
Right. Well, let's just listen.
Sorry,
all right. So, Tim, chill. And you, all will be revealed to you. Okay.
I'm on mute.
All will be revealed, my dear.
The values that this is antithetical to. So the Cultural Revolution in the 60s was fixing the problem that came about after the economic one.
Refers to the Cultural Revolution.
It ultimately failed, right? There was a lot of excesses. People were definitely shot in the streets that probably shouldn't have been.
Incredibly ugly behavior come out of this city. And you can see a couple of people over there that might be demonstrating that.
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
How do you do that? How do you scare the fuck out of them?
People were definitely shot in the streets that probably shouldn't have been.
I like what you said in our phone call. I have 180 days, right?
Yeah. I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
And that's the question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are indifferent. I think they're distracted by the gadgets and video games. How do you do that? How do you scare the fuck out of them? Yeah.
Meet Gabriel Geit. He's a public school teacher paid for by taxpayer dollars at Intercom High School in Sacramento, California. Geit, who teaches advanced placement government classes, is not shy about his involvement in Antifa's local chapter. He even has an Antifa flag and a poster of Mao Zedong in his classroom.
So, it's like, my wife and I have been political organizers. I've been organizing since I was 13.
Wow.
And I've been in a ton of different organizations. And I've been on the front lines, and I've taken a step back and gone back and forth. And my wife is the same way.
Is there a local Antifa or chapter?
Yes. Yeah. The Sacramento organization that is under the banner of Antifa is very loosely organized, right? And like we have no official like member list, right? So that when there's like right wing rallies and stuff, then we like. We'll create an opposition to that. Yeah. So Sacramento, as a city itself, is incredibly diverse, but we're surrounded by a bunch of right-wing rednecks. And then the other really big organization in our area that, if you're looking to get involved, is NorCal Resist. NorCal Resist does direct outreach for like undocumented folks.
So Sacramento is the capital of California, yes?
Yes.
So he lives in the same city that FTWNL donates $2 with the super chat. I suggest he starts the shotgun. Well, thank you very much. That's it. Had two different. I don't know where the banana's coming from, y'all. That's really weird.
I got a dirty little secret for y'all. Sacramento is purple and always has been.
Yeah, but the governor isn't. So he lives right in the nest with the good old Gavin and company, and he teaches at a hoi polloi high school with special AP is advanced placement, means it can qualify in some colleges as a first year course. Okay, that's the understanding I had, at least when I took AP classes back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right. So that hadn't changed.
But, just so y'all know, he kind of fucked up because he assumed that because the big dogs were all blue, he was going to get all the backing he needed, didn't he? Because I seem to remember seeing a little bit of something on this. I haven't seen much on this. I'm cold watching this right now.
Yeah,
I've never seen this guy's video. Yeah. And my blood pressure is rising. That's why I keep muting.
I love Project Veritas, man. People can rag on them all they want to, but it's like I believe they're legit and they're on the up and up. Even though there are pro right, it doesn't bother me.
They help them with like material support as well as legal aid and support with the help of National Lawyers Guild. So they work in tandem with each other. So that's why I do like political efficacy events, because I want to get them out in the community. I want to get them familiar with organizations that are doing work, what type of work they're doing, how they can be involved, where their passion is, and what they can contribute. Because it's like every single one of us can do something. I'm not asking you to all be on the front lines, but I am asking you to be involved. And it is so much more than just sharing a tweet or posting on Instagram.
Geit seems eager to get his students actively participating at radical, activist political events. He takes it one step further by motivating them through extra credit in exchange for their attendance.
So for youth that, like, let's say my son is pretty interested, that do 17, who want to get plugged in though to actually doing stuff in the community, to activism, where would he go to connect to some of these organizations? Like people that are interested in their flyers or something?
I post a calendar every week.
So for the organizations that you mentioned, so they get connected. That's dope, man.
And then so like and I do it for extra credit, so they get points for doing it. So that's encourages them to do it. Because I can't just like, hey, here's some things, they'll never go, right? And I've had like students show up for like protests, community events, tabling, food distribution, all sorts of things. So since I work with PSL, and PSL has connections with a bunch of other organizations, and also like Sacramento Peace Action, which is like a very old organization that posts a calendar on their website every month of all the events that are going on, and I just put them on my whiteboard, let them know where they are. When they go, they take pictures, they write up a reflection, that's their extra credit.
If you look at these photos from Geip's classroom, you can see he has an Antifa flag as well as a poster of Mao Zedong, the Chinese dictator who was one of the most notoriously brutal leaders in history, responsible for the death of millions.
I probably as far left as you can go. So like I've gone down those deep dark rabbit holes where like the idea of like adventurism and just being like, why aren't people just like taking up arms? Like, why? And you know, we have historical taking up arms like against the state. Like, and we have historical examples of that happening and them getting crushed and being martyrs for a cause. And it's like, okay, well, it's slow going because it takes massive amounts of organization.
Geip's radical philosophy is prominent in the teaching in his own classroom. Geip goes on to say he's not the only teacher at Intricum High School who shares his radical beliefs.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of senior parents at this point have backed off, right? So they're just kind of like, well, you can fend for yourself. You know, I know other people in my department who teach like 10th graders who've had like parent meetings, like some, you know, a student who complained about like a pride flag and something they felt uncomfortable. I've had students, you know, during anonymous surveys at the end of the year comment about the things that I have in my classroom. Like I have an Antifa flag on my wall, and a student complained about that, and he said it made him feel uncomfortable. And I addressed it to everyone because I didn't know who it was, and I was like, well, this is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable, so if you feel uncomfortable, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, maybe you shouldn't be aligning with the values that this is antithetical to.
Yeah. You're distracted, bro.
Yeah. And it's
why I was asking you how you make them revolutionaries that got TikTok that got us to women.
Well, that's just it. It's like, utilize that propaganda, right? Like, these are all great tools on how to get, you know, it's like, I've met so many people in my life who, when they met me, thought I was, like, off the wall, right? And now they're all Marxists, right? You know, and I'm just like, your political identification changed. And so I have a huge political spectrum room on the wall. So they take an ideology quiz in their unit 4, and I put their face, or they have to give me a picture of themselves, and I put it on the wall where they are. Every year, they get further and further left. And I've made them pay attention to where my tack marks are. Because I'm like, these ideologies are considered extremes, right? Extreme times breed extreme ideologies, right? There's a reason why Generation Z, these kids, are becoming further and further left.
Are there a lot of teachers like you?
I think there are more than there used to be. And I think that, like, there's 3 other teachers in my department that I did my credential program with, and they're rad. They're great people. And they're definitely, like, on the same page.
So what do you think of China, though? Have you been?
I have not. I'm actually going in April.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to go just to see it, because I hear conflicting things.
Yeah. I think it's... One,
I mean,
there was you know, like the revolution that happened in 1949 with like Mao and like the Chinese Communist Party, right? And then like the Cultural Revolution that happened in the 60s to the 70s up until like Mao's death, and then Deng coming in and like opening up to capitalist, you know, kind of investment and creating the road that they're currently on, and then like what Xi Jinping is attempting to do now, kind of like going back to more the Maoist understanding of socialism. So you need a two-pronged system, which is exactly what Huey Newton and Fred Hampton understood, was that you needed propaganda of the deed, the economic, and also cultural propaganda as well. We needed to retrain the way that people think. So the Cultural Revolution in the 60s was fixing the problem that came about after the economic one, right? It was.
He's talking about the moronification of American students. All right, that's the phase I call it in the road to communism. It's a definite stage, and this is exactly what he's talking about. Of course, he's quoting Chinese because they're the ones fucking backing this motherfucker. All right.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Like, well, what can we do now to
We'll come back.
Root out this culture that keeps perpetuating hyper-individualism, hyper-competitiveness, you know, capitalist exploitation and consolidation of wealth. It ultimately failed, right? And there was a lot of excesses. People were definitely, like, you know, shot in the streets that probably shouldn't have been. But I do think that it's important to understand that as an extension of an economic revolution. They were changing the base, and then they went to change the superstructure. And you cannot change one without the other. You can't have cultural shifts without the economic shift, and vice versa. So I think that for movements in the United States, that we need to be able to attack both fronts, right? We need to create parallel structures of power because we cannot rely on the state. So we need to distribute food, necessities. We need to create those mutual aid programs that we can look back at groups like the Panthers and learn from their successes as well as their mistakes, as well as consistently focusing on education and a change of cultural propaganda. It's like we have to hit both fronts. We have to convince people that this is what we actually need.
We caught up with Geip to ask for comment.
Gabriel, hello, how are you?
I'm good.
I am a journalist with Project Veritas.
I don't feel comfortable with this.
Well, I think that there's been a lot of uncomfortability in your classroom. And you mentioned to one of our colleagues that you have 180 days to turn students into revolutionaries. Would you a student voice their uncomfortability in your classroom with the Antifa flag? Do you recall that? You tacitly implied they might be aligned with fascists. I mean, is this the kind of behavior in line with the mission statement of your high school?
You're harassing.
Sir, I'm not harassing you. I'm trying to get comments. You're a public school teacher. You're a public school teacher. And you're teaching things outside the curriculum of your school. I have some footage that I need to show a member of the school district here.
recording. You're recording. Do you need to leave, please?
Okay, we're trying to show you.
No, I want you to leave. I'm going to call the police.
Guype believes it's okay to enforce his radical political agenda on his students. This tip came to us from someone on the inside of Guype's school and was corroborated by a Project Veritas undercover journalist.
It's a Project Veritas video, and the teacher is Gabriel Guype out in California. Outkick founder Clay Travis is here to react. Good morning to you, Clay.
Hey, good morning, Ainsley. How are you?
Doing well. Just shocking video admitting, and he has an Antifa flag in his classroom. One of his former students says he's not surprised. The Antifa flag was hanging up when he walked into the classroom, and he said he knew it was going to be a tough year. Says he provides the kids extra credit if they go to one of his far left protests, that some protests that are on his list, approved list, but not if you want to go to a pro-life protest. What do you think?
Well, this is the exact thing that I think many parents across the country fear, which is that their kids are not being given an opportunity to learn a wide variety of things in school, but are instead being indoctrinated by people who want to advocate for one particular political perspective. If this teacher were showing the kids the width and breadth of all different political ideals in the United States, I think many people would say, okay, that's at least exposing them to a wide variety of things to learn, but we don't want teachers to be bragging about how they are turning people into far left-wing zealots intentionally, especially people who are being paid with our own tax dollars. I think, frankly, it's totally unacceptable, and I'm not surprised that many parents think this is symptomatic of what is going on in a larger context. This teacher does not stand alone.
The school district did give us the statement. Natomas Unified as always, will look into the matter and take any appropriate actions as necessary. But that former student that was interviewed said they complained a lot and nothing was ever done. Let's also take you to this next story. This is LA's most powerful teachers union. The president of that union said it's more important for students to learn about social justice than it is math. Here's the quote. There is no such thing as a learning loss. Our kids didn't lose anything, talking about COVID. It's okay that our babies may not have learned all their timetables. They learned resilience, survival, critical thinking skills. They know the difference between a riot and a protest. They know the words insurrection and coup. Unbelievable, right?
It's disgraceful, and frankly, this person shouldn't be allowed to represent teachers anywhere in the country, much less Los Angeles, one of our biggest cities, where she has the most possible influence. Look, here's the reality. The biggest failure among many failures of our response to COVID was kids not being able to be in school, especially the most disadvantaged among them. It's fundamentally unfair and awful.
I know you're going to be on Fox and Friends this weekend on Saturday, along with Outkick's college football bus tour across the biggest games in the South through September 18th. And don't forget to check out What's Kicking on Outkick. Clay, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you, Ainsley. Can't wait for college football to be off.
I know. I'm excited too.
Gabriel, hello. How are you?
Okay.
I am a journalist with Project Veritas. Okay. Nice to talk with you.
That was completely fucking crazy and insane. Because they just talked about how this teacher has been doing this for as long as he's been at that school. And then they said the most unfair thing was that these kids weren't exposed to it for longer and more time? I'm a little fucking confused right now.
You probably didn't look at it that way.
I just think it's hilarious. They said
it's Kafka-esque, literally, if you think about it.
What were you saying, Sparky?
I find it interesting that they said, oh, they learned the words insurrection and coup, but the way that those words have been used, that isn't what they mean.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when they talk about the insurrection or a coup, they're usually referring to the January 6th deal. I was there. I mean, if the Boomer Revolution is any real thing, let's be quite frank about it. I don't think you could categorize it as either. In fact, the FBI just came out and said, no, it wasn't anything. It was organic.
Okay. I kind of thought it was because that's how it looked from all the live streams I was watching.
Right? Yeah. I wasn't live streaming, thank God. But like one of my friends, he was live streaming and he went into the Capitol and he's been arrested for it, and he's charged with disorderly conduct and trespassing.
What happened in fucking Afghanistan? That's an insurrection.
Oh, bro! Don't even get me started on Afghanistan.
That's the legit,
I'm so
for
angry.
real definition.
Fuck, dude.
You know,
I did 3 tours over there, man. I'm not happy about Afghanistan.
Jesus. God damn.
I'm glad we left, but glad we left.
Well, thank
but
you. Yeah, thank you for your service, Sparky.
Got me out of the house, Timma. Yeah. Join the military, they say. Meet new and interesting people. Yeah, we did that. Killed them. There you go.
That's what my brother says that too. He's a Marine. I've heard it from a lot of
We
people.
kind of just saw this.
Yeah, we just derailed. Yeah, I'm sorry,
No,
but
it's
I have
fine.
to laugh.
I'm moving this. All right.
I have to kind of chuckle because this guy is very clean cut and well dressed and well spoken. He also happens to be like 6'4". He's very, very tall. So I'm sure the women were pretending they were very afraid of him, even though he looks like he's not going to do anything to anybody.
It's Carlton.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready?
Liability issue, or if it's a negligence issue, but no one wants to see this footage.
You guys can't be in here recording. You need to leave, please.
Okay, we're trying to show you a
I
video.
want you to leave, or I'm going to call the police.
Okay.
So as this shit developed, all right, as this story developed, right, there was some stuff going on with the parents at the school where this dude teaches, right?
It's a public building. They have called the police to escort us from the building because we are attempting to get someone from the school district to watch footage of a teacher engaging in behavior that is blatantly a concern for security, health, and just well-being of these minors.
Abuse.
Ma'am, can you tell me what your title is so I can leave?
Abuse.
Okay. I'll be calling in momentarily just to get her title. She's a member of the school district. She has to give it to me. She's a public employee. Thank you for your help. Have a nice day. We'd rather call the police on someone who has footage of a safety concern instead of simply viewing the footage. These are the people who are running your child. These are the people making the decisions for your child's life. No accountability, no willingness, no responsibility. Cowards. Cowards.
Okay, now
say thank you to every past student and colleague and friend who's reaching out right now in support of what is happening.
That's actually a security thing at schools.
Yeah.
There's actual federal laws about that. That's being blown out of proportion. Project Veritas does this occasionally.
Yes.
Remember that I emailed you that long slideshow, right? Right?
Yeah.
So I was in contact with Project Veritas over that. Before I released it on the internet myself, I actually was working with Project Veritas about that, and the only reason why they didn't go like nuclear with it was because I would not wear a camera because I work in areas that have secure, and I'm like, I just can't do that.
Right.
But I talked with Mr. O'Keefe a couple times. You know, James is actually a really nice guy, and legit, they want to expose all this stuff. And the way they operate is you email them and you tell them, hey, this is going on, and they'll ask you for some proof. You hand them the proof, and then they send you all types of recording equipment to wear and stuff like that, dude. It is crazy. They're real good. They're real thorough. But when I talked to James, he's like, the stuff you gave us was great information, but we need a little bit more. I need you to wear it. And I'm like, I can't do that legally. Right. And very gracious. He's like, appreciate you being honest with me. And, you know, and I told him, I said, I'm a creator. I've been holding off putting out this stuff because you have more reputation than me. And he was like, well, I appreciate that, but we can end the embargo, you know, appreciate you. And so then I did my stream directly after that. So yeah, I've worked with them before. They're good people, very thorough, but they do get a little hyperbolic here and there.
Indeed.
Well, okay, but normally if there's something of this nature, somebody from the office will come and talk to the news reporters outside. That's been the kind
Couldn't
of
they at least
decorum
receive
that
the
they-
video and look at it?
Well,
I don't get that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense to me.
normally there's some sort of decorum for communication, and
They're
that
not going to
does
do
make
it on
look bad
video.
on it.
They're
Yeah,
not going to
but-
do it on video, though, and that's one of the things that look when you're dealing with children, when you're dealing with minors, like it's illegal to record inside of a classroom because you may expose the identity of children. But all the hallways are covered in cameras and such.
Yeah.
So it was in my high school.
I went to school before those things existed.
Victor, no, I did not get to keep the equipment.
I was going to ask the same thing.
Some of it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, my GoPro is better quality than some of the stuff they have.
Who has gay man lips? Take that back. I do not. All right, let's roll. All right, listen. All right, so Mr. Cousin of Carlos
I do agree.
Mazza.
You could get hyperbolic though.
Yeah, check out this dude's response. All right, so he starts getting turned up on him.
Responsibility, cowards.
Say thank you to every past student and colleague and friend who's reaching out right now in support of what is happening.
He didn't say. He almost said comrade. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
He caught himself.
My personal safety and security is obviously my top concern at this moment, but also like they are coming from my job and what I love doing in the classroom. And they are going to run this campaign and get public pressure behind them, and it's very likely that the district will cave in regards to this, and I'm hopeful that they don't, and all support at this moment is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Now to a classroom controversy in Sacramento. An undercover video and interview with...
Gee, I admit to abusing teenagers and forcing them into my way of thinking, and I'm just shocked that there's parents that want to hurt me now. I just like, really? You fucking gaslit and abuse my kid? I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the only crazy bitch that has kids. You know what I'm saying?
I bet his class sucks so bad. He was like, I gotta get these kids more involved.
Dude, his advanced placement, Trippy, is supposed to be the best education a kid can get. Supposed to be.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
And let's go ahead and taunt the parents of the smart kid. Where the fuck do you think the smart kid got the smarts from, you fucking idiot?
Right.
You know what you do? You send them down to Chile and you get them to join the Chilean skydiving club.
That's right. That's right. Fire up the helicopter.
Hey, you know what? I will.
Pinochet did nothing wrong.
Nice.
Oh my God.
I got to get that for my soundboard, dude. I'm jelly. Totally jelly.
Yeah.
All right, so just look at this hot Happa bitch.
Unified. So this just confirmed that my gut feeling is right.
Man had an Antifa flag behind his desk. Yeah, Chairman Mao in the fucking corner. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I have administrators at that school. I hold the first thing I heard. I was a correctional officer. I retired from there. They went all the...
Y'all just want to see the whole thing with the meeting, because I've got the whole meeting pretty much.
I haven't seen it.
Right.
I'm kind of intrigued, but I don't know.
I would kind of like to love watching parents just fucking dress these people down for allowing this shit.
I love angry parents. It's some really good thing that's come out recently.
Oh, it is so wholesome.
This sounds like me
you're
20
a
years
hero.
ago.
I was
It is
angry
so
before
wholesome.
the coup. So I've always, as soon as my oldest went into school, I've been on teachers' asses, the school district, the superintendent. I'm aware there's those parents that once their kid hits high school, they're like, nah, fuck it, you're on your own. It's time to learn to adult. I'm too fucking controlling for that. They're still minor. I'm still legally responsible for them. So hell yeah, my ass is involved. When they turn 18, I completely cut the strings. You're on your own,
You can't even
kid.
have Rasta pasta without BECCA there.
Exactly.
Right. Are you ready?
We want you out. Now. Not paid leave and not in a week or two. Now.
Anger tonight from parents in the Natomas Unified School District. That over a teacher they say was trying to indoctrinate their children. And Occam High School says that teacher, Gabriel Geip, has been placed on paid leave, accused of violating the school's political guidelines.
And tonight, the Natomas School District announced that it is taking steps now to fire him.
Yeah, district leaders saying they became aware of the allegations because of a video that was recently produced by a conservative activist group. But as KCRA3 Investigates reporter Brittany Johnson tells us, parents are still holding the school board responsible.
American flags waving in the air, signs with various messages in hand. Parents and members of the community gathered during a heated Natomas Unified School Board meeting to voice their concerns.
Is this a residential school or is this a public school?
Just hours after a letter was sent home to parents stating Intercom High School government teacher Gabriel Geip had been placed on leave. That letter, stating a video of Geip talking about teaching students his political ideologies, led school officials to look into his teaching methods.
We have been silent when you began teaching explicit sexual education in 8th grade and not giving us this information ahead of time. High school, Kids are having sex in the bathroom at Intercom. They're vaping in the bathrooms at Intercom. 4 guns were at the football game the other night, and you do not tell these parents anything. I know because I have a daughter there who tells me these things. Race is being taught. The first day of school that my daughter goes, her teacher tells her that white is the worst race there is. They tell her that you cannot be racist against white people. This is just too much. This man being fired is not everything that we want. We need our rights back as parents, and we need to know what you're going to do to protect our rights and our children in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, and I also want to thank Project Veritas for
because of the
exposing
mask.
this, because without their due diligence, you guys would have done nothing, because you did nothing when these students complained.
It looks
And
like
when a
she'll
student
fuck you up if
complained,
you cross her
Mr. Geip
kids,
stood
doesn't
up
she?
before the class
She looks like
and
she's
bullied
got a
him
Filipino
and
crazy
said
power,
that if
huh?
this flag bothers you, you
Okay,
must
I'm like,
be who
holy
it's
fuck,
supposed
dude,
to
there's some
bother.
Pacific
He
Islanders,
told
be
the
nice.
students to put their
Be
photos
very
up on
nice
the
to that
wall
one.
to identify their ideologies.
Dude, I got
Children do not
parenthood
come
right
to
now.
school to identify their ideologies. They come
right?
to school to learn to become productive citizens. My brother graduated from Intercom with a 3.9 GPA. He and his fellow peers, right after graduation, joined the United States Marine Corps. And I cannot imagine that if that person taught my brother what path he would have been on if he was brainwashed and indoctrinated in this crap that he is teaching, that you guys are paying him to teach, that we are paying him to teach. My brother is a proud Native American Marine, and my sign says, the motto in residential school was to kill the Indian and save the child. Mr. Geip is killing the American child and saving communism. Is this a residential school or is this a public school?
Get him.
So, members of the board, my name is Amir
there.
Deliri. I've got my
Jump on
10-year-old
me.
son here. He's also a student in the Natomas Unified School District.
That's a fuck with me beard,
Everybody
huh?
knows why we're here. The
Holy
indoctrination
shit.
of our kids is unacceptable. There's a clear line in the sand that needs to be drawn.
It's waiting for him to scream Allah Akbar.
It's funny, I'm sitting here waiting for my turn to speak, and I see all the district goals, and it seems like that teacher has violated every single one of those goals. And it doesn't seem that there's been any accountability to the brave Project Veritas reporter who came to alert the school of child abuse that's happening. I want to
finally
quote
saying
Mr.
it.
Geip's. The reporter asked, how do you get the students to do this? He said, and I'm quoting, I scare the fuck out of them. Okay? That is child abuse.
That's what he said.
And this,
Thank you.
not only does his termination need to be taken effective immediately, but I believe a criminal investigation needs to happen immediately.
In California, it is 100% illegal to scare
More
somebody
importantly is
else's
the
kid.
accountability. If a reporter who comes and dons press credentials and says, hey, we have a clear case of abuse, we want to show you this video, and they're turned away and the cops are called on them, you guys are public servants. You're taxpayer funded. We pay everything here. Right? It really comes down to accountability. Who's monitoring the classroom environment? Did somebody not go around and see the only 2 flags that should be in a classroom are that one and that one? Nothing else. I think we're all pretty disgusted with the politics that are going on these days. It does not need to happen to my son, who's headed to public high school, or anybody else. Thank you.
My name's Sean McMurray. I'm a parent of 2 students. One graduated from Intercom and had this man's class last year, and my other son is currently going there. So I'm outraged, of course. I'm furious about this. I know the indoctrination in the schools have been going on a long time. We know that the Antifa organization is no different than the brown shirts were for the National Socialist Party before the Nazis came into power. We know that. And the fact that you have such a pedestrian response to what has happened, like, oh, just by the book. It's just, we just got to go by this section and that section. What about principals? What about the kids who have followed this man's path, went up to Oregon, maybe burned some buildings down there? What about them? I haven't heard anything about that. Maybe we should get a class action lawsuit, endangerment of a child. Maybe we should do that. So I want to thank Project Veritas, and as you guys sit up there behind your bureaucracy, you guys.
That's your average flyover dumbass American, huh?
It's Sacramento, motherfucking California.
What's really
He's
interesting
in
about this
Sacramento.
is at least twice a year, every one of these teachers has an administrator sit in their classroom to observe classes, to rate these teachers.
Yep.
I doubt he took down these flags. This has been a part of his decorum in his class probably for years.
Yep.
And they just overlooked it. They knew what was going on.
Sure.
Of course they did.
Well, let's keep rolling with this dude.
I blame the leadership from the top down because that's where it is. It's not an isolated incident with this guy. I've been in my child's classroom. I saw a Planned Parenthood sign. It was in Spanish. I decided to bite my tongue. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. But it's no place for the classroom. These kids are formative. It's time for them to start their individual creative thinking and not follow some psycho and become a useful idiot for a communist party.
So my name is Jay Ash. I was born and raised here. I've lived here all my life. I've got 2 grandsons that are getting ready to go to Intercom. You feel this pain right here? It's not going away. The only question I got is, where does the fucking buck stop?
Thank you,
This
sir.
is bigger than one teacher. If this investigation doesn't expose
His family's probably
everything,
been growing shit there
and
for
you are
forever.
above the board and transparent, I would challenge you to pick anybody out here to be on that investigative body. You're not going to get it done.
Like this.
And we're not going to be satisfied. This isn't going away.
Fire them
This is going to
all.
get a lot bigger. And if you don't have
Yes.
more of this, open discussions
Don't poke
and,
at that grandfather. Look at his
revealing
forearms, guys.
what's really going on in our schools, it's going to get uglier. It's really going to get uglier. There were so many red flags. The man had an Antifa flag behind his desk. He had Chairman Mao in the fucking corner. Are you kidding me? I hold administrators at that school. I hold the person that hired me. I was a correctional officer. I retired from there. They went all the way back to my junior high school. How far did you guys go back? All you needed to look at is what his social community or clubs he belonged to. His tattoos probably told the story. So where does the buck stop? Is it with you guys? Because if it is, you better do your job and you better get it right. Because you're not going to get a second chance. We'll expose them all.
I will get you.
Pretty much, dude.
I need to remove
Don't
remove
fuck with
my
that
mask
guy.
to
He had
speak.
forearms that'll fuck your
I was
day up,
frankly
dude.
mortified when I saw that video. I tried to put myself in the place of a young student returning to school after a couple years of isolation and just the horrible things, the isolation and the lack of social contact. And I tried to imagine myself as that student returning to classroom and meeting this teacher, okay? He's a bully. He's not teaching what kids need to hear, what kids need to learn. He's not teaching for the student. He's teaching for himself. Half of these teachers that are in there, you guys should really, really take a long look at. They're teaching their crap. They're teaching it's their agenda. It's not what kids need to hear. It's not what kids should be learning. It's socialism, it's communism. It's beyond that. The flags he had on the wall, we've talked about that. He's had murderers on his wall. My family tree holds 2 murdered police officers. My nephew just flew the last C-17 out of Afghanistan, and my son's out on CAL FIRE. So I know what I'm saying when what America means to us, to our family, and to these kids.
God.
It is something special. We cannot have it be trod down in school. We cannot have our teachers putting down America, inciting racism, inciting all different types of things. These kids do not need to hear it. They do not need to be anywhere near that ideology. And I actually suggest that you get counseling for his former students. Thank you.
Okay, so CAL FIRE is hot shots, guys. That's the most dangerous job you can have in California outside being a cop.
Later this week, tonight.
I'm asking because we've been trying to get comment. We've been calling the offices. We've been emailing. So I'll ask my questions, just 2 that I have right now. Here are, have any prior complaints been made against Gabriel Geit, and have they been reported to Inderkum High School? If so, what were those complaints? When did they happen, and what actions were taken by the school? And if no actions were taken, why weren't they taken?
All right.
That's a fucking compound question.
Check this out.
The reporter.
No. The official answer to this question came out, all right, in an article today. They can't find any records of him being reported.
Shit.
Yeah.
Threw him away.
Yeah.
So they threw out all of his complaints?
Yeah, of course, man. Think about it.
Yeah, they had a shredding party as soon as the video came out.
Dude,
That's probably, but it's a federal offense. That you can actually go to jail for that shit.
well, you know, a lady reads the law that says that you cannot teach communism in America in schools.
No, you can't.
In public
It's
schools.
against the law.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been
Hold
that
on.
way since the 50s, dude.
Since the Cold War,
I didn't
man.
know that until recently, but
Oh.
yeah.
We're Cold War kids. So we know this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
I mean, being a law, or yeah.
It's a Gen X thing. Sorry.
And then another question.
All right, let's ask the second question here.
The teacher in question, Gabriel Geit, stated that other teachers do share his beliefs. Has the board taken steps to identify any of those teachers who may have been sharing their opinions in the classrooms? And if so, what actions are being taken?
Good evening. My name is Luis Ortega, and I'm a current resident here in the district. My son actually just recently graduated from Intercom High School this past year. And with that being said, the reason why I'm here tonight is to voice my concerns of the starting revelation that was brought to my attention yesterday from a video that surfaced online of a teacher by the name of Gabriel Geit. And my first initial thoughts upon viewing this video was disbelief, frustration, disappointment, and anger. Anger that a teacher at Intercom High School, and I'm going to quote what he said openly, "I have 180 days to make revolutionaries." And his response, and they asked him, "How do you do that?" And his response was, "I scared the F out of him." As a parent, this is alarming. Alarming that the school staff, principal, vice principal, other teachers in the faculty did nothing and allowed this indoctrination of these ideologies and beliefs to cultivate in his classroom. They did nothing. According to your statement that you guys released yesterday, that whenever civic education includes topics that may be controversial due to political beliefs or influences, instruction shall be presented in a balanced manner that does not promote any particular viewpoint. Are you going to sit here and tell me that Mr. Geit, and the way he presented the material and subject matter is balanced and not promoting a specific viewpoint? Where is the American flag in his classroom? Where is the Constitution or literature, the Declaration of Independence hanging up in his classroom? Nowhere. Is it not the responsibility of the district to evaluate the teachers? Let me answer that for you. Yes, it is. According to your governing board, they expect administrators assigned to evaluate teachers shall be competent in the instructional methodologies used by the teachers they evaluate, be skilled in the supervision of instruction and the techniques and procedures related to the evaluation of the instruction. It is your responsibility to know what he's teaching. And it's been going on for years, and you allowed it to happen. That tells me that you're not even following your own governing board, your own rules. You're responsible for that.
Yep.
Why? Why allow this to go on?
All right,
The school district has failed, in my opinion, and I'm going to finish with this last thought. Because you've allowed this indoctrination of Mr. Geit and his political ideology to flourish in his classroom. You have an opportunity to correct this. Everything has been brought to light, and like everyone is saying, it does not end with Mr. Geit. There are some deep-rooted issues within this district. And I hope you guys make the right choice and make a change with this.
I'm a student at Intercom. I am a member of this community and a parent myself. I'd like to start off by saying that I am neither far right nor far left in my political ideologies. I am very neutral in my stance. I have not come before you this evening to discuss politics. The infamous video of Mr. Geit was sent to me by my son due to the fact that I live in North Natomas. I got about midway through the video and had to pause it. It infuriated me. I was shocked that a person like Mr. Geit was being permitted to teach the children in my community. In the statement given by the Natomas Unified School District, you refer to balanced instruction as it pertains to controversial topics. It is very difficult for me to believe that a teacher with such radical views could lead a balanced discussion. As with most things in life, an element of bias is almost always present. I find it difficult to believe that his harsh views of government and society are not trickling down into his lectures to our students. I find his teaching methods to be similar to those of grooming. He is an authority figure whose life experiences and intellect far outweigh those of his students. Prior to this meeting, I had heard at least one of his students come to his defense, arguing that he is an intelligent, kind, helpful person and does give two sides to his lectures. I have no doubt that some of his students do in fact feel this way. As far as I can tell from his video, Mr. Gipe is a predator of sorts. Predators often possess all of these qualities. It is how they gain trust. When a child trusts the person in front of them, manipulating that child becomes that much easier. Shaming students who do not subscribe to his radical views seems acceptable to him and his environment. But let's be clear, it is not. It is not acceptable to ridicule, name call, or disregard a student, their parents, or any of the religious beliefs that may drive their actions or beliefs simply because they do not coincide with his. This man is a danger to the minds of these children, and I ask that the district revisit their vetting process for future hires. Thank you.
For the record, please.
Yes, my name is Robert Rossi. I'm a
She
resident
kept
of
that
Natomas.
serious.
I would like to ask the members of the school board if they teach their children, foster children, or any young relative, or any young person they are custodian of, that they should join the anti-fascist action. Or teach them, if they feel uncomfortable about themselves, then they should change their gender. Or teach them to support Planned Parenthood, or teach them that they are living on stolen land, or that communism is better than capitalism. Do they teach them that Republicans are Nazis? I ask everyone, if Intercom Public Taxpayer High School teacher Gabriel, however you say his name, Gibe, wanted to turn his students into a communist revolutionary, scare the shit out of them, make them feel uncomfortable, and promote the things I have mentioned, would you want your child in this school environment? Would you want the teacher terminated? Would you want to know why he was hired? Would you want his teaching credentials removed? Think about the students that felt tortured, knowing that they could not speak out. Public K through 12 education should focus on core reading, writing, and mathematics. It should be a positive learning environment, not a radical education. I have the pictures of the posters that hang in the classroom, which I found out are now taken down. Thank you. If the Supreme Court can find the 10 Commandments unconstitutional to be posted in our public classrooms, then how can this be any different? Thank you.
Once again, my name is Eduardo. Last name Jaime. Thank you once again for not canceling the meeting. First of all, I'll make it quick. I happen to be one of those parents whose daughter was in his class. I was proud to know that she was taking an AP class, and she's looking forward to college. Then I come across the video yesterday. I'm still a little shocked, still going through the emotions. I contacted the school. I believe I spoke with Vice Principal Brian. He actually, I have to say, I felt his heart is in the right place. I said, what's your opinion? Is that what you guys' policy is? He said, no. I said, well, what am I going to do? I know it's a teachable moment for me, but what can I do as a parent? And I didn't think he was going to say anything. He said, you know what, you're doing the right thing. If you care about it, you're calling us. If you care about it, then go ahead and go to the meeting and let him know how you feel. I talked to my daughter. And the guy seems very nice, whatever. The first thing that he said to them, to the students at the beginning, the same thing that he said on the video. I have 180 days to turn you guys into revolutionaries. That's how he started the year, okay? Now they asked him, well, you know, what's going on? He said, I can't tell you anymore. He said, I don't know you guys yet. So from the very beginning, he planted the seed. And this guy is in a position of power. And part of me feels bad for the guy. You know, he went to Sac State, he's a local guy. But, you know, you guys have to educate, not indoctrinate. It's part of me feels hopeless almost.
He can fucking move to China.
That is, you know, he's right. We keep moving to the left. They're now putting posters of Mao. I mean, the wall. I could just go on, but I don't want to vent. Thank you guys for taking action. I'm gonna hope that you guys are doing it because it's the right thing, and not because you're being forced to do it. Once again, I don't want to know your political ideology. I don't care. I don't want radical left, radical right. I don't want that in the classrooms. I can't believe that we got into that point where a teacher is actually bold enough, a Marxist, an Antifa terrorist. I mean, it's,
All right.
thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
for listening.
Please, the middle
my
is
son.
still
He
saying the
graduated
same
this year.
fucking thing too.
Okay. He went through hell last year, and you put all of us on the front line last year. We got to see everything that was going on. You have the men in blue here to protect you guys. They should be knocking on that door, arresting that man. I have nothing but respect for these men in blue as much as all these people do. If it weren't for these people, he'd probably be dead, because people like this lifted him up. Do you guys know how much teenage suicide happened last year? That's what we should really be talking about. That's on you guys. All of it. I want to ask for your resignation. You guys don't deserve this job. There's many people in this room that can do your job 1,000 times better. I promise you. I'm one of them. Because I care about children. I don't think you guys do. Or you wouldn't let this kind of stuff happen. This is ridiculous. I got this video this morning, and let me tell you, I'm not shocked. Why? Because there's another teacher right down the road at Leroy Green Academy who did the same thing to my son and to many others. And you people know who it is. I'm not even going to mention the name, because thank God for these people, because I'm going to go talk to them and they're going to do another video, because you're going to see another video as soon as they get to talk to me. I promise you that. You already know his name. I don't even got to mention it. I'm appalled that that man is still teaching at my daughter's school. I cannot believe it. My daughter is taking AP World History. She's so uncomfortable with taking the class. You know why she's taking that class? Because I wouldn't let her be in this other person's class. That's on you.
First of all, I would like to thank every parent that's here right now. The second thing is, the reason why my daughter is standing behind me is because my job as her parent is to protect her from anybody that has ill will towards her. So being that this is her first year at this high school that is world renowned and everybody knows about this school, is so perfect and everybody does everything right. The first time my daughter tells me, and she goes against my wishes to come out of a classroom that's disruptive to her well-being, I have an issue. I am very articulate. My children are very well read. They speak their opinion. They make sure that they are clear in what they do and do not like. And for the fact that my 17-year-old daughter had to come to me and said, "Mom, you don't understand. Let me explain." This means that in 2 weeks, in 13 days, he was allowed to change my daughter's mind about some fascist crap that y'all have let in this school. I'm tired. This is ridiculous. I'm from Texas. So this don't go on in Texas. This does not go on in Texas. There are 2 grades higher than California.
I think you're related to this woman. Just saying.
Period. So to think that my very sound-minded daughter would go against me and my wishes and our values in our home to be able to go and support this man, and he is putting her in harm's way. What the hell are y'all doing? I'm tired. How long does it have to go on before somebody says something? How long? How long? What are you going to do? That's the question. Get him out of here. We don't fucking care about this boy. He got to go.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the order. My name was called earlier. I'm actually a parent of a student in a local district. I actually walked with my social science major across the street from Intercom High School. I have a lot of familiarity with school teachers in the area. I substitute in the San Juan School District. This is not an isolated incident. This is why I'm out of. I left teaching because I can't deal with the politics here. My son, is trying to make it through another area. The video showed here of the issue. He's also facing similar issues in his school. The parents in this area are awake. We're going to be at all the meetings, letting you guys know. I'll give this to somebody else who's in the district. Thank you.
Can
Good evening, everyone. I don't have any kids at Intercom anymore, but they did attend Intercom High School a couple of years ago and last year. What I'm concerned about is the fact that we have taken God out of the classroom, but we're letting in this type of evil, which is socialism. Why is it that it's so hard to let God back in and have a balance? These kids that are being taught Marxism and socialism, if you guys have noticed, they are more depressive. They don't have accountability. They're always playing the victim. We need teachers that really care for our kids, not because of their agenda. These kids nowadays, with COVID, with the lockdown, they don't need socialism. What they need is accountability. And exactly from what I saw on the article, that he's saying, I'm gonna scare the F out of them. And then now he's talking about he's scared for his life because Veritas put him out there. What kind of example is that to our children? And he's teaching our kids, high school kids, our future leaders.
Yeah.
This guy and whoever is associated with him needs to be out of that environment where our kids are. I'm going to have grandchildren, and I don't want my grandchildren to be exposed to this. Unfortunately, all our parents here do not have the capability to homeschool or take them to private school. We are depending on you guys to give that kind of environment for our kids. Keep them safe.
Especially in Cali, it's fucking
Do not
expensive.
send them to a depressive and a black hole state, because that is what's happening to our kids now. Look at them, talk to them, ask them, because right now these kids can't even speak up for themselves in the classroom because they're afraid they're going to get an F.
Hello, my name is Wendy, and as a former teacher, I know that we're not allowed to share our political views, and the students shouldn't know what we believe no matter what we're teaching. We're to teach the content and teach it professionally. Obviously, Gabriel did not do that, and we've heard lots of
He looks like the kind of
complaints
teacher
about that
you
tonight.
don't cross.
But my concern is with the Facebook page that says Natomas Unified School Forum, and we have a board member, Lisa Kaplan, who is an admin for that board member, for that Facebook page. And today, when a parent asked to see the video, I posted the video from Project Veritas, the Facebook link, and her response was, "This is inappropriate for this forum and will be deleted." She says, "This is inappropriate for this forum and it will be deleted. Feel free to Google on your own." It's a Natomas Unified School Forum page that's public. And my response to that was, why are we censoring this? It's inappropriate what the teacher did. So you're censoring the parents from knowing what happened, and you have no problem with that, but you didn't censor the teacher. So he had it blatantly on his walls. So why are you censoring parents and not the teacher? Why is what we want to see inappropriate? His own words, why are his own words inappropriate? Because he's been caught, but what he's doing is not inappropriate. You should be ashamed.
They gotta protect their own. That's why it was
Hello, everyone.
inappropriate.
I'm Bobby. I'm a sophomore here at Intercom. I go to school here. I'm under all of your instruction. I was called last year when I started freshman year under the lockdown politically illiterate, and all of my beliefs politically illiterate under GYPE. A teacher I didn't even have. I didn't even know the guy. I was called politically illiterate for comparing his system and this entire system of the lockdown and all of that to socialism. Politically illiterate. Now, I have to say,
Because he looks dumb, doesn't
I had
he?
a teacher before all of this, 8th grade, right before the lockdown happened, Mr. Fernandez. He escaped communist Cuba, moved to Russia, then that went communist, and we went to the Soviet state. Socialism takes your health care first. They own your body. Second, they take your education. They own your mind. This needs change. This needs change now. I don't know what else to say, but you all need to rethink all of this, and it needs change. I was in a class, I'm Jewish, I was in a class, and there was a Free Palestine sign next to a Planned Parenthood sign, flags of the LGBTQ, and women's rights. Do you not see the irony, the contradiction that's being taught? They were telling us we must identify with history personally. I need to personally identify with Hitler to know what he did wrong? No! Thank you. Thank you.
That was my son.
Deborah Hozempa. He's in 10th grade. The beginning.
All it takes is one of that kid, man, with the other kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
One that can articulate the idea properly to the other kids.
Right. One through the burst through the membrane.
The year started with a history teacher. How incredible. In this class, which he just spoke of, he went to voice his discomfort because it's just something that, yes, there are times, whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it, but for these children to have to see these images for an hour and try to absorb them without any explanation of what they are or what it means to them, they're just inundated with images without explanation. Go along to get along. Well, he won't do that, and I won't do that.
Yeah, she don't
I
look
do
like
have
she
a
fucking-
question
she don't fuck with
in
nothing,
regards
dude.
to
She won't
curriculum.
tolerate shit.
Last year, it was very difficult. I know the previous year, I was so excited. The school district bought new curriculum books. We got to go and pick and browse and see which ones and voted on them. So last year, he got all of his workbooks, his books, brought them home. Not one teacher used those books. They had their own curriculum. Where is that from? Is it approved by you? Do you know what each of those classes are teaching? You don't. Because in his history class this year that he had for a week, they took identity tests. They took personality quizzes. A 14-year-old taking a personality quiz in a history class. For what?
What the fuck?
Exactly, how does that relate to history?
was an
Is the
outline.
question. And that was his question. My husband, who's a psychology.
No, so they can put you on this oppression scale, right?
Yes.
And
They
Guy
can figure out
said that
what's
he would put people's pictures on what I call the oppression scale, right? Oppressor to oppressed, and the winner is the one that's the most oppressed.
It was a wall of shame, and each child was moving closer to the radical left.
Mhm.
Any kid that
Appease the
wasn't
teacher.
moving, they were expected. There's no fucking doubt. Those kids were
They were expected
expected
to other him.
to shame their fellow classmates. It's a huge.
Well, I want to know why
manipulative
you're
thing that they do.
and why the fuck are you using a personality test on a teenager? Everybody's gonna come out schizophrenic. It's the teenager. You don't give them personality tests because
Sociopathic,
their
at least.
personalities are in such great flux.
Yeah.
Well, those hormones are raging, right?
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Empathy,
Everything is
lack
in
of
flux for
empathy.
them psychologically.
Right, because
Well, it's so the teacher knows where they lie, so that way they can manipulate that child in certain ways to go
Sure.
in line with their personality.
Yeah.
It's a tactic
Think
that
about it.
teachers
It's
use.
it's easy to other somebody that hasn't no idea of what empathy is, right?
Yeah.
They can't truly empathize with another person, so othering them in quotes, right? Just like the Goebbels did with the rat pamphlets, right? The Ratten. It's the same.
Kids are inherently selfish.
Well,
They're
have you
gonna
ever
put
read
kids
Man
through all
Search
this
for
shit.
Meaning?
And search
Have
for
you
me.
ever read? Yeah, I was gonna say, have you ever read Man Search for Meaning?
Who wrote that?
I don't remember. A long time.
Joseph something. Man's Search for Meaning. He was a concentration camp survivor. I can't remember his fucking name right now.
Okay.
Anyway, he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, and in it, he talked about the greatest atrocities he saw in the camps were enacted on Jews by other Jews.
Yep.
Is it Viktor Frankl?
Viktor Frankl, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
They're gonna put kids on the wall, and they're gonna be like, Rebecca's a little mini Hitler. And he's gonna
There
have
were
all these labels for these fucking kids, and just like you're saying, they're gonna start treating each other different and shit. It's like I didn't
It's a
see
way
Joey
for-
at the fucking protest I went to. Like shit like that's gonna happen, all that kind of shit.
I mean, the kids are very one, they're selfish. Two, they're cliquish. As soon as they see one kid not conforming with the rest of them, what
They
do
freak
they
out.
do?
he's
they
gonna
bully
be
that kid and they shame the fuck out of him until they comply with the rest of them.
Right.
Or
And
they
if they
come bitch at the
don't-
people in authority. Or they come bitch at the people in authority because that person isn't conforming. And they
Okay,
try
now
to force
think-
you to make them conform.
But hold on, think about what we're seeing right now in the political climate here today with the millennials and Zoomers. What are they doing on a daily basis when they're talking politics? They're trying to shame people for having different opinions.
Yes.
So they're carrying this shit over all the way through college. And look, I graduated college when I was 40 years old, just 3 years ago, and I remember sitting in some of these classes and they tried to do the whole oppression scale thing with the students. They would actually make us do the whole take a step forward, step back, blah blah blah. And one of the black kids got real upset when he realized that I was supposedly more oppressed than he was. And I laughed at it and I'm like, yeah, because all this starting line bullshit means nothing. All that matters is you put it in the work to get forward. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you're talking to someone who is living the life, who is actually out there doing things, and you're listening to someone who has been sitting in that fucking bubble for years, doing nothing but sitting in academia.
Yes, sir.
They're literally sitting on a throne above everyone else,
The bubble.
telling people how the real world is when they've never experienced it the damn selves.
The ivory tower.
I'm curious, when did it become okay as a teacher to be covered in fucking tattoos, cuss in your classroom, make a mess, and look like a fucking pig, dude?
Did
When
y'all
did that
see
become a fucking thing?
on his left arm? He had the ing sock tattoo with
Yeah.
the V, right, and above it was 2 + 2 = 5.
Well, okay, so when I got hired on,
yes,
yeah, when
he's
I got
a
hired
fucking
on,
hammer and sickle tattooed on his chest over his heart.
Yeah.
when I got hired on with the school, the principal who hired me noticed that I had a tattoo on my forearm. It's actually my logo that I use. It's basically an airplane in a circle. It's a B-52 in a circle, to be more precise.
Fuck yeah.
And that's the original peace sign.
The buff.
And when they asked me about it, I said, well, it's a peace sign. They said, why do you wear that? That's a war plane. I'm like, yeah, how do you think peace is achieved?
That's right.
And they said, would you wear a long sleeve shirt in class? I'm like, sure, if that's what you require. And the principal thought about it. He said, no, you're a military man. You were in the military. I get it. It's part of the culture. He's like, you don't even notice it's there anymore. I'm like, no, sir, I don't. And some of the kids would ask me about it, and I'd tell them, well, I used to be in the military. This is just one of the symbols, that I worked with. And that's as far as I would get into it, because I didn't want to share my political beliefs with the children. But I'll tell you, the children that I taught, and I taught 8th grade U.S. history.
They aren't stupid.
They're not stupid. They figured out where I was on the political spectrum, and so they started asking me about certain politicians. And I said, we don't talk about that here. I'm here to teach you about history. If you want to talk about that, bring your parents, and you can ask me questions, and I will answer in front of them, but I am not going to sit there and answer this without them present, because it is not my place to share political ideas.
Well, of course, you play by
That's
the rules.
how my history teacher was in high school, too. That's how my history teachers were.
Commies don't play by the rules, fam. Just
No, they don't.
Yeah. All right, let's finish this out. We're almost done.
Data analytics person said you will not do this homework. We sent an email to the teacher saying this is inappropriate. Give him a history assignment.
Yeah.
She did, somewhat. Same thing. But this time, he emailed his counselor saying, I think I need to be moved from the class. Then he was called up by the teacher, and she said, I think you need to be moved out of this class. So, I don't think that's fair for him. He didn't do anything wrong. She did. And she was uncomfortable, I think, with that fact, and the fact that we were pushing back. It's time? Okay, so I have just one more minute. Why, even today, they have yet to crack the books? Why did we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on curriculum when they're not using it? That's my question I want to know. And if you know what the curriculum is. Because it's all worksheets and not books, including math.
Mr. Geitz said that he's here to scare the fuck out of our kids, and we're here to scare the fuck out of this board.
That's right.
Number 5130. No teacher giving instruction in any school or on any property belonging to
any agencies, including the public school system, shall advocate or teach communism with the intent to indoctrinate or to inculcate in the mind of any pupil a preference for communism. Yes.
Motion for another recess.
Members of the public, pursuant to Government Code Section 54955 of the Government Code, this meeting has been continued for another date and time. We will post notices for a lack of a quorum. Thank you for coming this evening, but this meeting has been adjourned for right now and will be continued.
These parents, we saw the video President Veritas released yesterday of a teacher in this school district at this hearing, okay? It's been going on for the last couple hours. Parents have been making their voices heard, and the board got up and left. There you go. They just got up and left. Okay, thank you.
The board members. Wait, this is the guy who said he'd talk to us.
We said, so the board members have left. They're all leaving. They're all leaving.
Yeah. 50 plus
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the end of that reel. So man, I appreciate y'all like slogging through this shit with me. You know, I think it was one of the most important stories to hit this week, and you know, I didn't see a lot of attention to it. You know, places where you expect to find it, right? Places where you expect to find it, you find it, right? But not in places you don't expect to find it. You know, in other words, they're living up to their thing.
But they're hiding from it. They're hiding. There's a lot of things they're hiding from right now. People on the ground are they're mobilizing. I mean, out here, you know, people are no longer pushing back for the most part. You get the little, you know, spigot every once in a while that'll come up and try to be a passive aggressive bitch, and it's like, you know, that one person will get shamed and they'll probably get chastised behind the thing, because behind the doors, you know, because you have to fucking act like an adult in public or people are going to start not tolerating it anymore, because I really think the majority of America is done capitulating to the emotional basket cases. And we're seeing how they're damaging our children. And when you start involving children, people start to get really irrational and dangerous. And I don't know if these people understand what they're doing. Straight up, I don't think they understand what they're doing. I really don't understand. I don't think they comprehend the bear they're poking. They just assume because parents aren't paying attention, that's that. But it's no. Parents see this and they start paying attention, and then and people get very dangerous and irrational at that point.
Chi-Com money, man. The Soros and Chi-Com money, you know, that's what it's all about. When it comes down to it, they don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. You know, whoever's throwing the money at them, man, that's the dick that's in their mouth.
Yep.
I'm almost like glad that they're catching these ones that are being so like blatant.
God, what a moron, man.
I mean, yeah, because it's almost like there's certain things I've noticed are like almost going too fast for them, for these people, and these people are noticing.
Hey, Zach Osborne donates $5 with a super chat. Thank you, Zach. My mom was a school teacher. Hold on. My mom was on the school board for most of my high school life, 97 to 2001. I got targeted. My brother got targeted. She was a Democrat. Yep.
Yeah.
It used to be.
Yeah. Well, remember what they were saying about the worst part of the concentration camp was the way the Jews treated the Jews, right? Yeah. From the book that Tim was talking about. Tim and Becca had read. Sparky,
Answer to Meaning by Viktor Frankl.
Sparky, what do you got coming up, man?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow I'm going to be drawing cartoons because I'm going to be doing a show kind of like AP and Gulf City does. I'm going to be doing something that brand that's exclusively on Twitch. Of course, On Mondays, I have Manic Monday, and then on Wednesday nights, I have Thursday night streams on Wednesday night here on YouTube.
That's right.
YouTube.com/SharecraftSparky. Tomorrow I've just got my animation stream. It's really chill, man. We listen to music, actual licensed music, because you don't get copyright stricken on Twitch for listening to actual music. And I sit there and draw and just talk. And then, my normal variety shows that I do otherwise. And I also do debates on Twitch, because debates are dead on YouTube, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want some actual debate me bro type style, you got to go over to Twitch. Go over there and support Irate, please, because in order to get monetized there, you got to have X amount of viewers on average, and it's really not all that hard, but man, it's a great place, and it gives you the opportunity to make your own emotes. I've got some of the best emotes on Twitch because I drew them myself. And
did you do that Ghastly wrestling belt thing?
No, that's actually Ghastly's. That's Ghastly's own emotes.
That's funny as shit. Wrestle. The Ghastly belt. That's funny.
Yeah, I do like Warhammer 40. I'm doing a Warhammer 40K themed cartoon stream that I'm going to be doing.
Oh, sweet.
We're going to be throwing commies out of copters, shooting furries in the face, all kinds of things. In fact, tomorrow I'll be drawing a furry to blow up. So,
hey, speaking of Warhammer 40K, I'm going to be talking with Culliver, the artist formerly known as Rackest News. They got a big 40K channel on Sunday. So, hey, nice tie in there.
Yeah,
what else you got coming up, Sparky? Sorry.
I don't think I have anything else. Of course, people are contacting me for doing debates because, well, conservatives don't exist on Twitch. There's only like 3 of us. So
yeah, I've noticed that. Dude.
But it is the place to be. It really is. YouTube, man, look, I've been on YouTube, Irate. We've been around each other for almost 5 years now. I've been dealing with this great community here on YouTube, but now we need to bring it over to Twitch. We need to go into their battlefield. We need to take a dump on their lawn and set that shit on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah. I've been saying that for a while myself.
Well, it's one of the best things I've ever seen was Rob Noor on there getting like dogpiled by like 9 fucking Vosh clones, and he fucking slayed every one of those motherfuckers, man. It was delectable. It made me feel really good. It didn't give me wood though. I mean, because he doesn't have tits. But hey, if he had tits, I might have gotten wood.
Well, he might. He look. I mean, look. If you're terminally online, you're going to grow moobs eventually. So Rob Noor is getting pretty close.
Not wrong, dude. Gravity. Hello. It's a thing. Yeah. Exactly. All right. So let's go through. Tema, what do you got coming up? Anything?
Well, I was gonna start streaming, but as you can hear, there's a bit of a funky sound to my S's. The very expensive front teeth I had repaired almost 20 years ago finally gave out, and I need to go get it repaired, and it's taken a while for the appointment to come to me. So until I get the tooth fixed, and after that, I'm going to be back to commentating and talking shit to the politicians, and you know.
That's funny. My grill's wrecked too right now, and I'm gonna wait till after we move to fucking do something about it. But I've got
it's stupid. Yeah. Delicious crunchy gyoza just shattered everything.
You can hear when I say you can hear that little hiss. Anyway, but XD tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
All right,
I don't know.
Man, last Saturday was special, man. We had a call-in show. And Kathy came, Virgie came. We ended up hanging out and then talking. And Kathy is just a hoot. And anytime she shows up, she's a welcome, always welcome on in my studio. Anyway, so let's move on to Miss Becca Fairley. What do you got coming up?
I have Fairly Just Becca tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then another one Sunday at 8 p.m.
Sweet. All right, Miss Chigon, what do you got coming up?
Hey, so usually we have like informative massacre porn at 7 o'clock Central on Thursdays. I don't think we're doing one this week, but definitely like watch out on Twitch because we've been streaming live our Kino and commentary. Sorry, they kind of like slightly overlap the ice cream interviews though. So
it's shit happens sometimes, you know. I
yeah.
say check it all out. It's good. Yes.
You know, open a tab of each of us.
That's right.
Yeah, do that. Or you can, yeah, or you can,
That's
or you can
right.
just watch ours like late. You know, just jump in after, like you know, whatever.
And Johnny Bonsaco raised his head. He was dirty lurking for a while, but he became part of the chat for a while too. So
Teachers brought him out.
That's right.
They call them bi-curious.
Indeed. There we go. T-curious. All right, Stone Monkey, what do you got coming up, brother?
Well, I'm always on live Wednesdays, 6 p.m. West Coast time on Twitch, and I'll probably stream some extra times because I need to stream more. I just am busy, you know.
It's 9/4
now. Oh yeah, I forgot 9/4 is the infamous day. There'll be there may or may not be a video out on my YouTube channel today. And by may or may not be, it means whether I get up and do it in the morning or not. But
What's
truth
9/4?
Truth be told, if anybody believed I was actually going to do anything, they're stupid because I'm a lazy and that's a waste of my
I
time.
just have to not do it.
Yeah.
And why not have to do nothing?
You going to a concert, aren't you, bro?
Yeah, that's what I'm spending my energy on.
Fuck yeah. There you go. Just to see Megadeth, man, that would be awesome.
Oh man, just to see fucking. Oh god, In Flames is gonna be there. Fucking god damn it! That's also what I was mad about. Fucking In Flames got stuck in their home country and I'm pissed.
Well, all right, so you know I'm into this band King Weed. Well, there's
Yep,
also a band called King Buffalo, man, that's pretty fucking awesome too. And the vocals on that are actually pretty good, man. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, but Trippy, what do you got coming up?
Tripster?
Probably Sunday, Thursday, or no, actually Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday. I do streams on all three of those days most of the time.
Nice.
Gaming Thursdays, you know, fucking White Boys Watch a World Star Wednesday, and Social Media Sunday. It's like letters, man. I simply use letters a lot in my titles.
Sweet.
Still haven't smoked weed, just saying.
All right.
I'm like this normally.
So I've already talked about my deal. Sunday, Culliver, join us, man. It should be interesting. I love this dude's voice. He's almost like a clone of Undoomed. Very resonant, bassy voice. Love it. Love that shit. And that's all I got to say for now. Everybody else, you good?
Yeah.
Kawaka.
All right, we'll say goodbye.
I don't want to because that means we have to leave.
Sucko!
Okay.
No.
Follow Monkey on Twitch.
Follow Monkey on Twitch. Thanks, everybody. Chat, you're awesome. The best one in the world.